Cowboys Nation, we need to have a serious conversation about the current state of America's team, particularly the defense, because the truth is that what we've seen lately has been far below the standard that Dallas deserves. Allowing 30 points per game is not just disappointing, it is unacceptable. The defensive coordinator position has become a critical point, and the Cowboys cannot afford to settle for mediocrity. Continuity in football can be important, but clinging to familiarity at the expense of performance has repeatedly proven to be a mistake. The reality is that 4 coordinators in 4 seasons has created instability, but also highlights the urgent need for a decisive, impactful leader who can transform the defensive unit. It is clear that Matt Eberflus, despite past contributions, is no longer the answer, and it is time to find someone who can establish a strong identity and hold the defense accountable. The challenge lies not just in hiring a new coordinator, but in finding a leader who can inspire confidence, demand discipline, and execute a clear vision. It is never guaranteed that a new hire will be perfect, and every fresh perspective carries some risk, but sometimes taking a calculated chance is exactly what a team needs to move forward. Previous choices have often been influenced more by connections and familiarity than by strategic fit or coaching talent. Hiring decisions shaped by friendship or reputation rather than merit have led to inconsistencies, whether it was bringing in someone based on past relationships or relying on former colleagues without truly assessing their ability to lead in the current NFL landscape. The Cowboys must now expand their horizons and focus on candidates who can deliver results, not just comfort. When examining potential candidates, Al Harris immediately comes to mind. Throughout his career, he has demonstrated a deep understanding of defensive schemes, and his work as a defensive backs coach has consistently produced measurable results. While there are some past concerns regarding player management, his exposure to accomplished coaches and successful systems makes him a credible candidate. This is not about automatically giving him the job, but rather about evaluating whether his strategic vision aligns with what the Cowboys need. On the other hand, some names carry more risk than reward. Ken Norton Jr., for example, has strong connections to Dallas and relationships with previous staff, but his tenure as a defensive coordinator has not consistently delivered. Mike Zimmer, a familiar name, presents a similar dilemma. Familiarity does not guarantee success, and relying on previous alliances can sometimes perpetuate mediocrity rather than overcome it. Internal promotions are always part of the conversation, and they come with their own advantages and drawbacks. Aaron White could be considered for a larger role if the season falters, though his current position as defensive line coach may be more suitable for continuity and stability. Todd B.S., who has prior experience with the team, has potential to bring innovative strategies if the timing is right. Even Matt Eberflus, although no longer head coach, is occasionally mentioned due to his history with blitz-heavy schemes and aggressive play calling. Each of these internal options requires careful evaluation, weighing familiarity against the necessity for fresh ideas and transformative leadership. Looking outside the organization, there are numerous experienced and emerging coaches worth considering. Brian Flores, for instance, brings undeniable defensive acumen and a strategic approach that could immediately improve Dallas's defense, although contractual obligations elsewhere may complicate availability. Jonathan Gannon of the Cardinals and Anthony Weaver from the Dolphins present similar opportunities, as regime changes in their current teams could open doors for high-impact hires. Jim Schwartz from the Browns and Raheem Morris also carry valuable experience and have navigated complex defensive scenarios in their careers, which makes them attractive candidates. The point is clear. Talent exists beyond the familiar circle, and the Cowboys must be willing to pursue leaders who can challenge the status quo and elevate performance across the board. At the same time, up-and-coming coaches provide intriguing options. Jim Leonhard represents a future-focused perspective, blending innovation with tactical knowledge that could redefine Dallas's defensive identity. Other younger coaches, including Aubrey Pleasant, Ron Jones, DeMarcus Covington, and Chris Couric, each bring unique approaches and energy, offering creativity that could complement established talent. While they may not have served as full coordinators, their ability to adapt, teach, and innovate could outweigh traditional experience. particularly if the team is seeking to break free from predictable schemes and stagnant results. Experienced coordinators should not be overlooked either. Ryan Nielsen, Don Martindale, and Joe Cullen each bring a blend of tactical expertise and the ability to instill aggressiveness and structure. Antonio Pierce and Jared Mayo represent a hybrid model, offering limited coordinator experience combined with fresh perspectives that could produce unexpected results. The critical task is to separate hype from substance, identifying coaches who can genuinely translate strategic knowledge into effective on-field performance. It is not enough to simply fill the position. The new coordinator must bring measurable improvement, creativity, and a culture of accountability that the defense currently lacks. The evaluation process also requires acknowledging candidates who may not fit the current timeline or philosophy. Bill Belichick and Rex Ryan, for example, carry immense reputations but are largely impractical options due to career focus or timing constraints. The Cowboys need actionable candidates, leaders who are available, motivated, and ready to embrace a project that will redefine the defense. This is about building a sustainable foundation, not chasing nostalgic hires. Every potential hire must be measured on their ability to implement schemes, adapt to personnel, and cultivate a culture of preparation and resilience. Scheme fit is another essential consideration. The Cowboys cannot simply impose a complex system that clashes with existing strengths, nor can they continue to rely on familiarity without innovation. A coordinator must blend adaptability with structure, creating a system that challenges opponents strategically while instilling discipline and accountability. The ideal hire will understand the nuances of situational football, from third down efficiency to red zone execution, and be capable of making in-game adjustments that shift momentum. Leadership, preparation, and vision are equally critical. Even the most brilliant schemes fail without a coach who commands respect and motivates players to execute under pressure. With all of these factors in mind, the search for the next defensive coordinator is about far more than filling a vacancy. It is an opportunity to establish a clear defensive philosophy, a cohesive identity, and a culture of excellence that extends beyond the season. The Cowboys have the talent on the roster, but without strategic leadership, that potential will remain untapped. By evaluating both seasoned veterans and rising stars, focusing on adaptability, tactical acumen, and cultural impact, Dallas can make a transformational hire capable of turning the defense into a competitive force. The process demands patience, research, and boldness, ensuring that the selected coordinator is the one best equipped to lead, innovate, and ultimately bring the Cowboys' defense back to the level that fans expect and deserve. As we dig deeper into the defensive outlook for the Cowboys, it becomes clear that leadership at the coordinator position will define not just the next season, but potentially the trajectory of the team for years to come. Dallas cannot afford another period of uncertainty, because a weak defense undermines even the most talented roster. The right hire has to balance experience with innovation, a rare combination that can transform the defense from a vulnerable unit into a resilient, dynamic force capable of challenging any opponent. This is not about short-term fixes or comfortable choices. It is about establishing a culture where accountability, preparation, and execution are non-negotiable principles for every player on the field. The coordinator must be someone who not only understands schemes, but can inspire buy-in, ensure discipline, and cultivate trust across the locker room. The evaluation of candidates must go beyond reputation or media perception. Each coach under consideration brings a unique approach, a distinct philosophy, and a particular set of experiences that must be carefully weighed against the Cowboys' current personnel and strategic goals. For example, a coach who thrives in aggressive blitz packages may create excitement and disrupt opposing offenses, but if the roster lacks depth in the front seven, the risk of overextension could backfire. Similarly, a coverage-focused coordinator might strengthen the secondary, yet if the line cannot generate pressure, the scheme can be exposed. Finding the right balance is crucial, and the Cowboys must adopt a nuanced approach, ensuring that the hire aligns with both immediate needs and long-term objectives. Among the emerging names, coaches like Jim Leonard and Aubrey Pleasant exemplify the value of fresh ideas and creativity. Leonard's emphasis on adaptive schemes and player development could inject energy into a defense that has too often struggled with predictability, while Pleasant's experience with complex defensive back strategies brings versatility and depth. Ron Jones and DeMarcus Covington, though less established, have shown the ability to maximize talent in smaller coaching roles, which could translate into innovative solutions when applied across the full defense. Chris Kurrick, coming from a system known for disciplined coverage and situational awareness, represents another promising option, highlighting the opportunity to blend youth, creativity, and tactical insight in a way that reinvigorates the defensive identity. Experienced coordinators also offer advantages that cannot be overlooked. Ryan Nielsen, Don Martindale, and Joe Cullen bring proven leadership, the ability to implement aggressive, adaptable schemes, and a history of extracting strong performance from their units. Antonio Pierce and Jared Mayo combine experience with fresh perspectives, allowing the team to experiment strategically while retaining some level of structural guidance. The common thread among these candidates is their capacity to take control, instill discipline, and design schemes that challenge opponents at every level. The Cowboys must carefully assess whether these individuals can adapt their approach to Dallas's roster while maintaining the intensity, accountability, and consistency required in a competitive NFC East. Internal promotions remain an option, but they come with both risks and potential rewards. Coaches like Aaron White and Todd B.S. have familiarity with the roster and organizational culture, which could provide continuity and minimize transition time. Yet the danger lies in perpetuating existing flaws if fresh thinking is not introduced. The Cowboys must critically evaluate whether promoting from within will produce transformative results or merely maintain the status quo. Experience alone is not enough. The coordinator must possess the vision to challenge players, innovate strategically, and ensure that the defense evolves rather than stagnates. Looking further afield, candidates like Brian Flores, Jonathan Gannon, and Anthony Weaver highlight the importance of strategic acumen and adaptability. Flores, known for his disciplined, aggressive approach, could immediately enhance the defense's structure, instill accountability, and create situational advantages. Gannon and Weaver offer similar potential, combining experience in diverse systems with a readiness to embrace new challenges. The challenge for the Cowboys is to gauge the likelihood of availability while balancing the potential impact each coach can have on a roster. In these cases, proactive outreach, careful negotiation, and clear articulation of the team's vision will be essential to secure a hire capable of elevating performance. The cultural dimension of the coordinator role cannot be underestimated. Leadership is not solely about XS and OS. It is about creating an environment where players respect the system, trust the coaching staff, and buy into the philosophy of accountability. A successful defensive coordinator must inspire confidence, drive preparation, and demand execution, ensuring that every player understands their role and the consequences of failure. In Dallas, where expectations are sky high and scrutiny is relentless, the ability to lead a cohesive, resilient defensive unit is just as important as tactical knowledge. The next hire must demonstrate that they can manage egos, nurture talent, and create a cohesive culture that thrives under pressure. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. In what could be one of the most shocking moves of the NFL season, the Dallas Cowboys have reportedly announced the departure of their star quarterback, leaving fans and analysts alike scrambling to understand the implications. While no official reasons have been fully disclosed, insiders suggest that a combination of contract negotiations, locker room dynamics, and a desire for a new direction might have fueled this unprecedented decision. The Cowboys, a franchise known for making headlines both on and off the field, may now be entering uncharted territory, leaving a vacuum in a position that has long been the face of their team. Speculation is already running rampant about where the quarterback could land next. Rumors suggest multiple teams have expressed interest, with some sources hinting at a potential trade that could reshape the playoff landscape. Fans have taken to social media to express both shock and disappointment, with many mourning the loss of a player widely regarded as one of the brightest talents in the league. Memes and heartfelt posts flood forums, reflecting the emotional weight of losing a quarterback who was not just a player, but a symbol of the team's ambitions. Meanwhile, the Cowboys front office remains tight-lipped, fueling even more speculation. Analysts are questioning how the team will adjust its offensive strategy and which young or veteran quarterback might step up to fill the void. Some insiders argue that this could be an opportunity for the franchise to reinvent itself, perhaps leaning on a more dynamic, versatile approach that shifts away from the traditional reliance on a superstar signal caller. Others warn that missteps in the upcoming weeks could set the team back significantly, turning what might be a bold strategic move into a cautionary tale. Amid the rumors, one thing is clear: the NFL world is watching closely. Whether this departure signals a new era for Dallas or opens the door for rival teams to capitalize, the decision has already shaken the foundations of a fan base accustomed to high expectations. As whispers of possible trades and free agent signings continue to swirl, one can only imagine the dramatic twists that may unfold in the coming weeks. For now, fans are left to grapple with the reality of losing a quarterback who was more than just a player. He was the heart of the Cowboys offense, and his absence leaves a question mark over the future of the franchise. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.